if you remember back in November, December, I was using words like if Trump leaves in January or if Biden becomes president. And I was talking like that even though it was official that Biden had won, but I wasn't so sure that Trump was going to leave because remember the rumors that was floating around that he might not leave the White House?
With just 40 days to go until Election Day, President Trump refusing to commit to a peaceful transition of power should he lose re-election.
Will you commit to making sure that there is a peaceful transferal of power after the election?
Well, we're going to have to see what happens. You know that I've been complaining very strongly about the ballots, and the ballots are a disaster.
And I wasn't doubting that he would leave because of the conspiracy theories put out by groups like QAnon and others. Even major news outlets were talking about it. But I wasn't doubtful just because of the rumors and words.
President Biden also congratulated Israel's new Prime Minister, Naftali Bennett. He formed a coalition government ousting Benjamin Netanyahu from power. CBS's Charlie D'Agata in Jerusalem has more on this political shakeup.
And with that vote, Benjamin Netanyahu's 12 years of rule are over. New Prime Minister Naftali Bennett and an unlikely coalition have dethroned the longest-running leader in the history of the country. 49-year-old Bennett thanked Netanyahu for his service to the country, but said that the job of governing Israel has moved on to the next generation. In an afternoon punctuated with cheers and jeers from both sides, Netanyahu struck a defiant tone in what sounded nothing like a farewell speech. If we are destined to go into the opposition, he said, we will do so with our heads held high until we can bring down this government.
That just happened the other day. Netanyahu is claiming election tampering. And we're still getting our fair share of that kind of talk over here. So I was doubtful that Trump would leave because I had been watching what had been going on in different places around the globe. All kinds of leaders being ousted, arrested, assassinated. And ironic that Netanyahu just finished using his power to displace Palestinians, and the same government he used to do that just ousted and displaced him. There's a video I did titled Von Helton or Waldorf Nation. And in that video I spoke about this.
It should be that he can simply be reinstated, that a new inauguration date is set, and Biden is told to move out of the White House, and President Trump should be moved back in.
I want to know why what happened in Myanmar can't happen here. No reason. I mean, it should happen here. No reason.
A former U.S. Army Lieutenant General and former National Security Advisor appearing to endorse a military coup here in the United States. Flynn's comments were seen as an endorsement of a coup by some QAnon followers. They were welcomed overnight by a prominent peddler of QAnon who has more than 70,000 followers on Telegram.
Trump won. He won the popular vote and he won the Electoral College vote.
Michael Flynn spent Memorial Weekend at a conference in Dallas attended by QAnon supporters.
I want to know why what happened in Myanmar can't happen here. No reason. I mean, it should happen here. No reason.
That was earlier this month of June 2021. You heard ex-General Michael Flynn answer, yes, a coup should happen here. But the video I did in March, the Von Helton video, it was like in reverse of what Flynn just said.
This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the Quarantine Report. I'm Amy Goodman. We begin today's show in Burma, where the military seized power Monday in a coup, ousting the de facto leader Aung San Suu Kyi. Earlier today, Burmese police charged the former Nobel Peace Prize laureate, as well as Burma's deposed president, U Win Myint. Hundreds of lawmakers, activists, and human rights defenders have also been detained since Monday's coup. Telecommunications have been cut in parts of Burma, which the military calls Myanmar. Monday's coup unfolded hours before lawmakers were to take their seats in the opening of Parliament, following a November election in which the military made unsubstantiated claims of fraud. In the election, Aung San Suu Kyi's party won over 80% of the contested seats in the Burmese parliament. Aung San Suu Kyi spent years fighting against the Burmese military. On Tuesday night, opponents of the coup protested by banging pots and pans outside their windows in Yangon. Reuters reports staff at 70 hospitals and medical departments in 30 towns across Burma stopped work today to protest the military. On Tuesday, the Biden administration formally declared the military's action to be a coup, prompting a review of U.S. foreign assistance to Burma. Maung Zarni, thanks so much for being with us. Start off by talking about what happened this week. Talk about what unfolded in Burma, the country that the military calls Myanmar.
Well, the military decided that they could no longer play this democracy game with Aung San Suu Kyi. And so that's one reason. And the other one is, of course, they saw what happened on January 6th, the storming of the U.S. Capitol, and they saw what is going on in China, Russia, the ideological climate moving towards the far right around the world.
I played that video of Myanmar, Burma, saying that they wanted to take over the government like they're doing in America at the Capitol building. But you heard them in America months later asking if America should do what Myanmar did.
Political stability continues to elude Mali. There has been another military coup, the second one in just 9 months. Both the president and the prime minister have been arrested. It is a rerun of what happened in August last year. The same colonel is leading the takeover. The same military base is being used to detain the president, and the same promise is being repeated by the junta. Fresh elections in 2022. Why is Mali stuck in this cycle of takeovers, and what is at stake for Western Africa? Our next report tells you.
Coup d'etats are a frenzy. Armies that have tasted power seldom want to surrender it. And when they do, it's just a matter of time before they strike again. Mali in Western Africa is turning in this cycle. Surrounded by insurgency and instability, it is fertile land for military takeovers. The army made their first move in August 2020. They marched into the capital, arrested the sitting president and his ministers, and declared a military junta. It was a swift and bloodless coup, one that split the Malian public. Some believed the military rulers would bring prosperity. They were fed up with the cycle of poverty and corruption. But the international community didn't buy this. They wanted a trusted civilian partner in West Africa. So the army reluctantly agreed to give up power, at least on paper.
That was in May of this year, 2021. Happening everywhere. But we know, coups are nothing new. They happen somewhere every year. But there's something about these that's odd. Almost like the same cause are behind them all. Well, power thirst is behind them all as always, but I mean that it looks like some kind of consolidation is going on around the world. But, I'll end it here because I know how some people are about conspiracy theories.